time.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of TEDXcellence, the show where I pretend to be a vampire on the moon. With Dogcat Fox, a Pepperjack, and all of you, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Halloween Eve and the special TEDXcellence, where I'm a vampire. Count Scribula is here to entertain you with his wit and wisdom. Yes, yes! Hope everybody's doing well on this beautiful Thursday evening, pre-Halloween. Before I get into the hellos, I did promise that I would have a special guest this evening. And I do. Veterans of the channel, in relation to vampire-type stuff in this channel, may remember Leonora. Hello, Leonora.
Hello, how are you all?
It is Leonora, Mistress of the Night, who joined me for our reviews of the first two Anne Rice Vampire Chronicle novels we read and reviewed, 2 years ago now or something?
Yep.
There's abouts. So yeah, Leonora will be joining me tonight as my wing woman for this TEDXcellence. How are you, Leonora?
Doing good. Ready to TEDXcellence.
No one is ever really ready to TEDXcellence. Well, let's see. Let's get to some hellos here, and then we'll have our special face reveal. Wes Wolliver. This should be amusing, probably. The Alexander, good evening. Mike R, hello. Advocatus Diaboli, hello. That is no vampire. I feel robbed. Well, what about this? No? Yes? I don't know. Seftus Wolf, good evening. Who else is here? Keeverdam, hello. And thank you, Keeverdam, as always, for providing the link to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society donation page, guys, at the top of the chat box. Please take a look at that when you have the opportunity. If you can donate, please do so. But even if you can't, if you can share that out on social media, that would be appreciated. So thank you ahead of time for that. And thank you, Keeverdam, for providing the link. Blue-Eyed Scream, good evening. Pope Tyrannus III, the Blessed Lynch. Blessed Lynch? Lich, good evening. Who else is here? Captain JPS, hello. Adam Nixon, good evening. Let's see, who else? Jay Blizza, hello. Derek LaRue, holy cats. Thank you, Derek, so much. That's ridiculously generous of you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, as always, for your continued support and generosity. Hope you enjoy the show. Thank you. Attack Alpaca, hello. Who else is here? Scrolling. Found is late, but at least he's found. Fostonia, good evening. Kiro Soldier, hello. And Malachi D. Wildman, good evening. Anybody else? I'm scrolling. The Dead Man, good evening to you. Alice Morgan, hello. Yes, costumes. I'm a vampire. Woo. I went all out for this. I went all out. Draco Rincewind, good evening. Pissed Off Shih Tzu, hello. And Advocatus Diaboli. Oh my gosh, so many people. Poker, good evening. And I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody, if you're lurking, if you're in the future. Holy cats! Stoka! Good gravy, dude. Again, I don't know what to say. That's ridiculously generous of you. Thank you so much. You spoil me beyond words. As I've said, I'm planning on paying all this forward in the very near future. I'll get my words back. Thank you so much, Brett. Very generous of you. And thank you for the support on the Discord server by boosting the server. We'll get to the Discord later on, guys. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I promised a face reveal. So, Leonora.
Yes?
I mean, you've been on here we've been friends for a long time. You've been on here quite a bit for the vampire books and everything else. Are you ready for the face reveal?
I am ready.
Okay. And a 1. And a 2. Wowie wow wow. Wowie wow wow. There he was, guys. Dogcat Fox, for the first time on camera, just for you. So, there you go. Kiro Soldier, have you read the Anita Blake book series? No. I am aware of them. I have not read them. Adventure girl vampire romance, not quite my speed. I could be convinced otherwise, but so I don't know. There was a great vampire series by Charlie Houston, who was like a detective vampire, which I liked the first couple books there, but I haven't read Anita Blake. So the answer is no. But thank you, Carol Soldier. And the Dead Man, happy Halloween. Thank you, Dead Man. Happy Halloween to you, too. All right, guys. Carol Soldier, it gets spicy. Oh, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Yeah, vampire sex and werewolf. I mean, didn't Anita Blake basically portend Twilight by a decade or more, or two? Vampire and werewolf romances with a huntress of one kind or another. I think so. But yes, guys, tonight we have a special Halloween episode.
Yes.
Where we're going to talk about defanging vampires. I believe the official title is 6 Ways to Defang Your Vampire. Or something like that. Turn down the background music a little bit. Have you ever defanged a vampire, Leonora?
Of course not. Look at me.
Fair enough. Do you have any predictions as to whether this is going to be literal or figurative, or what vampires might symbolize in this context? Because again, guys, we haven't watched this ahead of time. We don't have any idea aside from the title what it's going to be about.
Well, it's a TEDx, so it could be, she could be talking about bats.
True. I mean, it could be actually zoological for all we know.
Yes, but I think that she's going to go on the route of, the people that sucks your energy.
Oh, okay. So people in your life, so the vampires are the negative influences in your life, and she's going to give us some life coach advice on how to manage those.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll find out momentarily. A couple more hellos, and then we'll get into it. Meh. Hello. Morgan King, good evening. Evil One, hello. And anybody else? Did I miss anybody? I hope I didn't. Oh, Ostzan, good evening. And let's see. Oh, we do have another prediction. Advocate Diabli. I predict she is going to say vampires are an allegory for toxic masculinity, and thus we need to defang them. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Read by Nature. Either Scribe is cosplaying Dracula, or he went to a posh restaurant and left the napkin tucked in. I like the second one. But I am the vampire. Ooh. Yes, I have a little vest thing on and everything, and oh yes, it's all very proper and frilly, and it's got little sleeves, and a cape.
So fancy.
Yes, and I have the accent. Blah, blah. All right, so let me. By the way, guys, we're using bingo card B tonight. I made the executive decision to use bingo card B. B as in boo. Because boo and boo. I'm finally making use of my soundboard. I never really did before. And I've only got 2 buttons. I've got thunder and I've got wowie wow wow. Yeah, so. No, isn't he cute? Oh, he's so cute. He's so derpy. Okay. All right, so let's bring up the video here. We have to do a couple of fancy things for this one because, well, whenever I do a TEDx where I have a guest on and the box for the video is gigantic, the likelihood of a content match or copyright claim or something else increases. So I've created an overlay to sort of break things up a little bit, a Halloween-y overlay. So we'll see if that works. It may not. Time will tell. Anyway, Leonora, are you ready?
Ready as I can be.
Okay, this one clocks in at just under 16 minutes. Guys, I'm going to turn down the background music just a smidge. The background music, it's all copyright free, but it reminds me a little bit of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which I like. So, all right, I'll start off with a few seconds for a sound test. You guys tell me if you can hear it, and, excuse me, then we will proceed.
That really is the title.
That really is the title. You hear that? Leonora, did you hear that? Leonora, are you with us? Uh-oh. We may have lost Leonora. She warned me ahead of time that her Wi-Fi might cause problems. And if anything did happen, to give it a minute. So we'll give it a minute and see if I hear anything from her. Alan Thyler, thank you so much for the how's it going, Dogcat Fox. Oh, Dogcat Fox?
Wowie, wow, wow.
Ooh, there's a Kiever Dam Dogcat Fox. Thank you so much, Alan. And there's also an actual Dogcat Fox. Okay, so Leonora bowed out. We'll see if... yeah, she warned me ahead of time this might happen, so no worries. We'll give it a second here and see if she can switch her Wi-Fi channels and everything, and then we'll get ourselves back moving and grooving here momentarily. Leonora down! I know. Oh, here she is. Hello again.
Of course you had to kill me before it starts.
I didn't do nothing. This is your internet. You told me.
Yeah.
Okay, so let
Hopefully,
me start over.
But if I die again, I just die again, and I will come back.
Okay, because you're a vampire, and that's what happens to vampires. They die and they come back.
Exactly.
All right, so we'll start again. We didn't really get that far. Here we go.
That really is the title. 6 steps to defanging your vampire.
Oh boy, that really is the title. Okay. Oh, hashtag defang your vampire. By the way, guys, I have to note this. This talk has been risen from the grave in the sense that it's 7 years old. This is not a new talk, so for all I know, there will be some antiquated references here from 7 years back.
For the last 7 years, I have taught a class here at the University of Delaware called Vampire Culture, What's Really at Stake?
Oh, wordplay!
No.
Fantastic.
And when she says vampire culture, is she talking about like... If she's talking like folklore... But I think she's not talking about folklore. Okay. Just for the sake of breaking things up a little bit, let's remind ourselves what we're listening for on the bingo card here. Remember, this is 7 years old, so this is kind of classic era TEDXcellence. Marginalization, self-vilification or wretchedness, contradicts own point or fails to make argument, feminism, microaggressions or unconscious bias, and again, that is where the speaker uses those elements in their presentation, not that they possess them. Privilege, benevolent condescension, weightless example or non sequitur, plays victim, collectivizes own demographic, economic disparity, deceptive statistics, attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase. I don't necessarily take the title of her class as a buzz phrase, but we'll see if she comes up with something else. A list of some kind during the course of the presentation. Mind reading or assumes motives. Patriarchy, anecdote that probably never happened, DEI philosophy, white supremacy, childhood or family anecdote, systemic/institutional, leaves out vital context, sales pitch for product or service. I may accept her pitching her own class as a product or a service. We'll see. And lastly, word salad. So nothing on the board yet, but keep your ears open and we will proceed.
And see, I often imagine the reaction of my parents, of my students' parents to this. I can't help but think of them seeing that and saying something like, I pay good money to that school for your education, and this is what they're teaching you.
That's actually not a bad reaction.
They sure
especially
do.
with the kind of classes that liberal arts colleges have been putting out there as actual education and degrees for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, social justice studies or public health masters or things like that. Okay, so explain to us then, what do you really mean by vampires?
Education, and this is what they're teaching you. Vampires. Why vampires? There are a lot of reasons why vampires, actually, but the main one is this.
Uh-huh.
Vampires are real.
Of course.
I know.
Of course we are.
Right here. Okay, well, she's broken the masquerade, so now we have to hunt her down. But anyway, yes?
When I say that, understand that I'm not talking about the tall, dark, and undead with a cape and fangs. I'm talking about
Aww.
those people, places, and things in your life that just suck.
Oh! Guess who got the psychic moment? Yes. Yes, Leonora got the psychic moment. All right. So she's going to give us some life coaching through clever use of wordplay. Proceed.
Because that's what vampires do, right?
Well, I mean, that's
No.
part of... That's not what they do. They kind of... I mean, it depends on the vampire. If it's, your sort of courtly sort of vampire, yes, they may pierce your neck and then drink your blood and then, let you go. Or if they're like the 30 Days of Night type vampire, they're just going to rip you open and throw you aside like a piece of jerky. All depends on the vampire. And Leonora and I have been watching vampire movies all month because there's a whole bunch of vampire movies she's never seen before. And I'd introduce her to 30 Days of Night and then 30 Days of Night Dark Days and then Dracula 2000. And what else did we watch? Let the Right One In. What else? From Dusk Till Dawn. Abraham's Boys, which is a relatively new one with Titus Welliver, which kind of was a vampire movie and kind of wasn't. It was meant to be a sequel to the actual novel Dracula. And then I think on deck for the near future, I want to show her John Carpenter's Vampires. I haven't seen Last Voyage of the Demeter. And then there's The Addiction, which you can find for free on YouTube. And it's like Christopher Walken is a vampire. Oh, and Near Dark. We watched Near Dark. That's right. Yeah, so we've seen like 7 or 8 different movies so far. And she hadn't seen any of them. I mean, that's almost as bad as never seeing The Hunt for Red October.
Well, I have watched that.
Why have you watched that?
Because you made me watch it.
That's right, because I made you watch it.
Bad ones, and those are the ones that we want to defang. Bad vampires suck, literally. They drink blood. But that is not all they do.
You're right. We also look very snappy in outfits. And we might also scheme politics and things amongst the other vampire clans under the bloodlines of Cain. But that's a whole other thing that I don't want to get into right now because I'll go on for hours.
Let us consider, for example...
All right.
Sorry, is she going to offer us like crystals, like, protective crystals and things?
Ooh, maybe. But here's the thing. We know there's at least 6 steps. So at some point in the course of this, we're going to be circling a list. I just want to get to that point where she actually gives us the list or starts giving us the list. I can't wait. I'm since the entire presentation, both this and her class, is predicated on an analogy. I want to hear more of her analogies for real life vampires. What does she consider a vampire? Because Advocatus Diabolis guess that like toxic masculinity, it might come in there. So he might get a psychic moment too. We'll see.
Let us consider, for example, Dracula.
Okay.
If you've seen any of the movies, then you know he can become a bat. But if you've read Bram Stoker's novel, then you know he can also become a wolf.
Well, if you've seen Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, you know he can become a wolf because he becomes a wolf in there. And that is a movie. In fact, many of the movies show Dracula turning into a wolf. So it's not something that's been restricted from... Sorry, I'm getting into a nerd space here.
Which makes him a predator.
Well, becoming a vampire bat makes him a predator.
A vampire, period.
Yes, a vampire is a predator by its very nature.
You don't need the werewolf part.
And he is described as a filthy leech, which makes him a parasite.
Well, do you know, a lady, I don't know if you know this, you can be both a predator and a parasite at the same time? I know, it's crazy. I feel like I'm being benevolently condescended to. Do you feel benevolently condescended to?
Yeah.
So circling benevolent condescension. Now, admittedly, she is talking to a room full of liberal arts students, so maybe they are that dumb. I don't know.
Jonathan, the visitor to Transylvania, calls him this when he finds Dracula lying in a coffin, engorged with blood. So the vampire is both a predator and a
Yes.
parasite.
Yeah, duh.
Someone who takes and maintains his power by stalking his prey and draining them of blood.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Depending on the interpretation, because there are several different kinds of vampires out there, but yes, classically speaking,
The blood is the life. This statement resonates throughout Dracula. And this idea, the blood is the life, the blood equals life,
yes.
is the key to understanding the real value of the vampire story for us.
Well, I mean, blood is... I've come to know a bit about blood transfusions over the last year and a half, so it's a literal truth, as well as being one in the fictional world of vampires. Okay. Waiting for a... Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Were you going to say something?
No, just like,
Uh-huh.
If we think of the vampire as someone who drains without giving anything back,
That, yes, and we do, because that's, again, the classic rendition.
someone who takes from us those things that give our life its quality, then vampires don't just drink blood. They steal our time, they steal our money, they steal our health.
Yes, okay, you're belaboring the analogy. We all understand what a, euphemistic vampire is as a person in our lives.
oh
Okay.
God.
I get that she has to give this introduction. It feels a little tired, okay?
They take our passion, our energy, our hope, our self-esteem, our very sense of self.
Yes, lady, we got it.
You got out of a bad relationship recently, didn't you?
No, but I
Or-
mean, like she could be talking about like anyone,
A sibling.
like a friend, a sibling, you
Yeah.
know, like a spouse,
I'm
a
just-
coworker. like
I'm just
whoever.
wondering if this is going to
We get it.
descend into. Yeah, I'm just wondering if this is going to descend directly or otherwise into a personal tale of woe. And so I'm waiting for like a family anecdote or something else to come up, because I'm wondering if this wasn't fueled by some personal grudge. I guess we'll see.
I got divorced
You know-
because
yeah, yeah. It's like that bastard. He took everything. I put him through law school, and then he left me for his secretary. Son of a bitch.
In other words, they take our power. Which means that a vampire might be an abusive parent or
Oh, I'll take that as a list. I'll take that as a list, even though she's going to give us 6 steps to defanging our vampires. So circling a list on the board. And just a reminder, we're on bingo card B. B for boo. And we have circled so far on the board benevolent condescension, free space, and a list.
partner. A vampire might be an exploitative employer or industry. A vampire might be a system of unjust laws or discriminatory...
Systemic, or institutional, circling that one on the board. Oh boy.
oh my God,
we go.
vampires everywhere.
Everything is a vampire. Anything
Yeah.
that is
Anything and everything and
yeah,
everyone.
if it's an inconvenience or something that you see as an inconvenience, it's a vampire. Okay.
laws or discriminatory policies
Discriminatory.
or unwritten rules that everybody knows but no one's willing to admit to.
Ooh, like DEI?
Diseases like Alzheimer's,
Zymers. There is no T in Alzheimer's. It's not old timers, it's not alt timers, it's Alzheimer's. I know. It's a pet peeve of mine.
or Parkinson's or HIV/AIDS or cancer.
That's I can't say just saying cancer is a lot, but sure, yes. Okay, yes. Diseases that wither away the body are parasites, feed on you, weaken you. Yes, okay, they are vampires. So how do I defang AIDS? I'd love to hear that one.
All of these are
Yes.
vampires.
Okay. they're paying really hard attention to this. This is very serious business.
Like, what is she talking about?
We can't necessarily slay vampires like this.
Then what is
Okay.
you're right.
But you can defang them.
You can defang. Okay, so by defanging, is she meaning like taking the edge off or just confronting your fears kind of thing?
Reclaim your power.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Face your fears. Turn to Freddy Krueger and tell him that he's just a dream. Right, girls?
But if we learn to recognize them, we can defang them, by which I mean we can take our power back.
Oh! Leonora with the double. Oh my gosh.
I could have written this shit.
I know. I think everybody in the audience probably could have written this shit.
Can get our lives back. And that is the reason that vampires are worthy of study. We can learn how to cope with our own real-world vampires by paying attention to the stories we tell ourselves about them.
Give us an example from your own life, ex-husband.
Because all stories, and when I say vampire stories, I mean movies, books, graphic novels, video games, all of these are stories about power inequity.
Uh-oh. That was a turn.
You know what? Here's the thing. I hate to tell you this. Every story is about power inequity. You know why nearly every story is about power inequity? Because you rarely ever have a story worth listening to or watching on a TV show or movie without conflict. And conflict only comes about because of a power differential, one to the other. Someone's got something over on somebody else. It might be slight, it might be major, but conflict. Every story is about a power differential. I'm not saying that vampire stories aren't or can't be. I mean, I guess you could have a vampire story. It's not about power conflict. Like, actually, I'm trying to think. Actually, it's pretty much the vampire trying to, be opposed by the sun or people hunting him. So it's almost always about conflict. Anyway. Okay, lady, but specifically vampires. You're talking about parasites and predators.
Vampires are always more powerful than human beings.
No, vampires are not more powerful than human beings because human beings almost invariably defeat the vampire. Under the right circumstances, vampires are pretty badass. But get them on a sunny day and put a hole in the roof and they're in deep trouble. I mean, I just watched this. If you guys have ever seen the YouTube series Dungeon Soup, and I can't go into the whole thing. It's a very funny cartoon series on YouTube, and it's all about the sort of Dungeons and Dragons type creatures having to fight this insane barbarian. And the last episode of their first season or whatever, the Dracula character is like, don't you know the difference between immortality and invulnerability? I know something about that. I'm a vampire. I'm immortal, but I'm not invulnerable. Anyway, I'm just being nitpicky.
They're older, stronger, faster. They are immune to time and disease and most conventional weapons.
Yeah, like a stake through the heart or a silver bullet.
They can change shape. Some of them can become mist and slip through keyholes or under doors.
Yeah.
And they are masters at mind games.
Depends on the vampire, but sure.
They like to play with their victims, confuse them, hijack their free will so that these people no longer trust their own judgment.
Ex-husband. Dollars to donuts. Ex-husband. Kiro Soldier, thank you so much. Buffy, Anita Blake, Celine, Alucard, Hunters. It's true. Buffy wasn't a vampire, though. I think, didn't Anita Blake at one point become a vampire? Or temporarily something. Alucard. Are we talking like Castlevania Alucard? Well, I don't think it matters. It's Dracula's son, right? So he's more a damn fear than a human. But anyway, not to be too specific. It's being under. What do I know?
She's going to talk about sunlight at some point.
Oh, okay. So sunlight is as an analogy for something else?
Yeah, like exposing them or something
okay.
like that.
Frank Hubbard says, hey, all, I'm going back to the beginning.
No, stay.
Frank Hubbard is time traveling. Some vampires can do that too. I know, I was about to say. Time traveling vampire.
And perhaps even worse than that, vampires convince their victims, make them feel complicit and ashamed, as if they somehow deserve to be controlled and used and then discarded.
She is really talking about herself here. She's really talking. I mean, it depends on the vampire. But yes.
No, but she's talking about like pets, not necessarily like, like the victims.
Well, I mean, if you've got a controlling narcissist in your life and they've successfully gaslit you and broken you down and things. I mean, I've seen this in real relationships I've witnessed in my life where someone that is...
No, I mean... I get that part, but okay. I don't think that's like an equal to a vampire necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she's just talking about her ex-husband, like definitely.
Well, I know she's talking about her ex-husband. I mean, but there is an aspect to predation where you break the person of your affection down to where you control them.
Yes.
And then you can more easily extract from them what you need, whether it's money or sex or God knows what else. So it's true, that can be an aspect. Okay. And?
So how do we fight vampires like this?
A lawyer, I'm guessing. A divorce lawyer?
These powerful entities that stalk us, drain us, and make us doubt ourselves.
I don't know. I've been waiting 4 minutes of your 16-minute thing. Okay, so 1/4 of your presentation is now passed. And here we are. Oh, number 1, believe. Believe what? Believe all women?
In yourself?
Ooh, okay.
The first step is believe. Believe that vampires are real.
Oh.
Oh. Dang it.
Okay. Speaking of creatures of mystery and intrigue, Andy, the Toy Master Masterson, is here. What the heck was that? Was that an evil black cat in the background I heard meowing?
That's correct.
Oh my gosh. Leonora has vampire kitty cats. Guys, Andy, the Toy Master Masterson. If you don't know about Andy Masterson, well, now you do. So there. Anyway, but yeah, he has a YouTube channel. And he makes toys. And some of those toys are figures of horror. Mostly, representations of other YouTubers. Which are scary in and of itself. Just trust me, I'm a vampire.
Perfect for Halloween.
Yes, check out Andy Masterson's channel over on the YouTubes. Andy, we got to do another stream sometime talking about comic books. I've been jonesing for some comic book talk because Andre, I guess, is super busy. We haven't had a chance to talk about Conan comic books, so we got to talk about some comic books soon. Got to pick a day, pick a comic book, figure it out. Shadowcat is here also. Hello, Shadowcat. All right, so where were we again? Believe.
They exist, and they are in your way, keeping you from your best life and your best self. Do not make excuses for them. It's not that bad. He doesn't really mean anything by it. Other people have much more serious problems. Really, I'm fine. It's not a big deal.
This is entirely a self-declaration. Also, now here's the thing that is starting to bug me about this. Yes, there are certainly other people And certainly there are, depending on your circumstances, you can fall into a bureaucracy or something else that just, eats up your time and these things happen. This is life in a way. Sounds like she's getting close to making excuses for your own responsibility. Because when she started talking about they take away your passion, they take away your this, that, and the other, I was like, I get how an abusive parasitic relationship can do that. I've been in them myself. I've seen other people in them. I know how that happens. But there comes a point at which you have to, and maybe she's getting to this because she was talking about taking back your power. So I hope she's not leaning too far into giving up all personal responsibility for your problems and blaming it on the vampires. That she is going to get us back around to either ignoring them or, like she says, defanging them. Thank you, Kiro Soldier. Bunnicula, vampire bunny, real blast from the past. Yes, Bunnicula, who turned all of the celery white. Did you ever read Bunnicula?
Nope.
You never? Oh, Bunnicula, the vampire bunny, finding all these vegetables around the house that had been completely drained of all their color and life. So you had these completely pale tomatoes and celery. And I think the sequel to the book, the first book, was The Celery Stalks at Midnight. I read those books when I was very young. They're like kids' books. You'd like them. I think you'd like Bunnicula.
I'm going to look for them.
Yeah.
Maybe your vampire doesn't seem like a big deal next to, say, world hunger. But he is draining you of your power and energy drop by drop, day after day. What is it you think you can do about world hunger while you yourself are losing the power that you need for a fight like that?
Wait, you're going to fight world hunger?
What?
Ex-husband. Also, what is up with that guy's haircut in the back?
You should try it.
In all honesty, I cannot stand having my hair grow out too long. It bugs me and it looks all shaggy. My hair does not grow like in some kind of like flowing locks. It's just like bleh. I can't, and if it starts to grow long, it tickles around my ears and stuff.
Oh man.
I was raised to have a very clean-cut appearance. Thank you very much. Very classy. Yes. I don't want to look like some dirty liberal arts school hippie like this guy back here.
You have to stop the hemorrhaging first before you can help anybody else.
How?
And you cannot stop your vampire until you acknowledge his existence.
Yes, well, you married him. But anyway, give me an example. Even if it's just a hypothetical, give me an active example. Like, a vampire in my life could be blah.
A hypothetical ex-husband.
A hypothetical ex-husband. Yeah, just she gives a hypothetical ex-husband. Let's talk about a partner, a spouse, let's say. A bastard who ran off with his secretary after I put him through law school. that kind of thing. But just hypothetically speaking. Okay, but seriously, we need something a little bit more tangible. Dare I say, a little bit more substantive?
In the words of Professor Van Helsing, the voice of authority in the 1931 black and white Dracula movie, the strength of the vampire is that people will not believe in him.
Yes, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making the world believe he didn't exist. I get it. Or convincing the world he didn't exist. Okay. But so what? What does it mean? Give us an example. You listed off diseases, you listed off people, you listed off systems. Even in the most abstract sense, it would make sense for you to then give us an example of how to defang a poisonous person in your life, how to defang a system that you're encountering, how to defang experiencing a disease in some way.
You need to believe. Just believe.
Okay.
And before I go on, I just want to say something about these steps. They don't necessarily have to come in chronological order. And in fact, you may not need all of them.
It's not chronological order, it's numerical order. You've numbered them. This lady teaches a class, guys. People pay money for this shit. Frosted Glass, thank you so much. Either ex-husband or about to launch into the JQ? Okay. This may be me showing my age. Leonora, do you know what JQ is short for?
No.
Frosted Glass, you have me at a disadvantage. So, oh.
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 Oh. Okay. To my credit, didn't even occur to me. But thanks, Frosted Glass. Let's hope not.
It can be enough simply to reframe a problem as a vampire. For example, years ago, my husband and I learned,
Ah!
Example.
Example and my husband.
Of course.
She didn't say ex-husband.
Well, yeah, exactly. She said husband.
Oh, I didn't look at her fingers. Is she still wearing a wedding ring?
No.
it's a mistake to answer the phone during dinner. It is almost never anybody we want to talk to. It is almost always somebody who wants to take our time and sell us something we do not want.
Or it could be a family member reporting an emergency. I mean, it has been known to happen.
So that now my husband says, as soon as the phone rings, he says, don't answer it, you know it's vampires.
He really talks that way at home? Okay.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
Right? If we don't open the door, then they can't come in.
Sure.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. And the money goes so fast, it ain't funny. You know that song, don't you?
No.
Huey Lewis in the News.
No.
Okay.
I am sorry.
No, I know.
Do you want me to lie?
You are a sorry individual. I get to that. Okay. Since it is the appropriate time of year, for those of you out there who are younger than I am, look up the music video for Doing It All for My Baby. Because the music video for Doing It All for My Baby is completely appropriate for this time of year. It's a different song, but anyway.
So sometimes all you need is a quick reframe. Other problems, though, are serious and they are going to need all the steps. So let's go on to step number 2.
Thank God.
Stake your claim. Pun very much intended. Right?
How? What do you mean?
It is important that you identify who or what is draining you.
Yes. Okay. So first one, believe that vampires exist. Oh my gosh, guys, did you know that there are people or things in life that are detrimental to your well-being? Yes. Okay. Number 2, identify those things that are detrimental to your well-being. Okay.
This is an important moment, the claim, in all vampire narratives. Think, for example, of that moment in Dracula when Jonathan is encountering the trio of vampire women and one of them has her teeth just against his neck.
Oh, yeah. I bet Keanu Reeves hated filming that day.
For sure.
Because Monica Bellucci was in that group.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Poor guy.
I know. Poor Keanu. It's like, okay, Keanu, okay, so in this scene, you're being assaulted by 3 hardly clothed vampire women, one of whom is a younger Monica Bellucci. Whoa, what am I going to do? I'll just have to survive somehow. Poor guy.
He is just about to sink her teeth in, and suddenly Dracula appears, and he hurls the blonde vampire away from Jonathan and says, "How dare you touch him, any of you? How dare you cast eyes on him when I had forbidden it? This man belongs to me."
The alpha male. It's about power.
Well, that's a claim.
So wait, in saying stake your claim, you're giving the example of the vampire staking claim of the victim? Interesting. If you like Monica, don't watch Irreversible. It's true. I mean, that is not a fun movie to watch. Although she gives I mean, all things considered, the performance she has to give in that, pretty intense. But yeah, that is not a movie to watch for the faint of heart. I'm assuming you've never seen Irreversible.
And you would be correct.
Okay. You don't want to see it. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. You don't want to see it. Yeah. Just imagine the most violent and unsexy thing that could happen to Monica Bellucci.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a fun movie. Intense movie. Not a fun movie.
Okay.
Some of you, maybe you're not familiar with Dracula, so perhaps you are.
Yeah,
What?
Who is not familiar with Dracula? But do tell us, because this whole thing has been more like a summary of the Dracula story than it's been about anything useful.
Fans of the HBO series True Blood? Some
No.
of you, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So you may
Which has nothing to do with Dracula except in the most abstract sense.
recall a similar scene in which vampire Bill Compton is defending the heroine against less friendly vampires
You mean Sookie? Sookie Stackhouse? Sookie.
by growling, "Sookie is mine."
Sookie.
Right?
Yeah. Sookie, like sucky. $3 sucky. Me love you long time.
Oh God.
We're used to seeing vampires claim their victims, right? This is territorial behavior. This is what we expect of a predator. But we can take a lesson from Charlaine Harris's Dead Until Dark, which is the first in the Sookie Stackhouse series that inspired True Blood.
Where are we going? I don't want any more literary references. It's supposed to be about
Giving me the step to defining my back part. I need answers, lady.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna pretend like I'm the most yearning, desperate listener to this talk. I have a lot of problems in life. I have a lot of people and things that are making my life terrible and draining all of my energy and my passion and my purity of essence. How do I mitigate this threat, oh wise woman who teaches a class on this, instead of just giving me recommendations for books I should read? And by the way, I'm going to circle sales pitch for product or service at this point, because she's effectively giving us like, these are my top 5 vampire books or movies that you should watch.
Yes.
And I'm pretty close to circling word salad as well, but we'll give her a little bit of extra room here.
From the very beginning of this series, Sookie claims her vampire. When Bill walks into that bar where Sookie is working, she immediately decides that he is her vampire, says it on page 1. She hasn't even talked with him yet.
So she's a psycho stalker. Yeah, okay.
That's my vampire.
He is the first vampire she's ever met, so he is her first, right?
Is this okay? I'm having flashbacks to college and literature analysis, and it's not good flashbacks. Not like awesome acid flashbacks or something.
He sits at one of her tables, so he's her customer. And then when she realizes he's in danger, she decides he's also her responsibility, and so she saves him.
So what?
From the very opening of this series, Sookie flips that dominant narrative and asserts her power. The cute blonde girl is not going to be the victim of this story. She is nobody's meal for the night. She is not Bill's pet human. He is her vampire.
So Sookie is the predator.
I am lost.
Well, you've just flipped the script, but you've kept the exact same dynamic. Because without even knowing who he is, she has set her sights on this guy as her target. She has assumed an ownership over a stranger before even ever talking to him. And so it's 6 of one thing, half a dozen of the other. You're not making a point. Just because in the story, Bill is a vampire, in this instance, Sookie is the predator in this dynamic. So you're talking hypothetical abstract vampires purportedly, then Sookie is the vampire in this dynamic. She's not solving the problem, she's just taking on the role of the predator. So shouldn't Bill be working to defang her? I've never read the books. I saw the first season or 2 of the TV show, and then it just got kind of like too soap opera for me or whatever. I didn't really care anymore. So maybe I'm missing something, or maybe the books are far different than the TV show. But anyway, thank you, Frosted Glass. $100 says she owns Morning Glory Milking Farm. Okay, now my dirty mind can extrapolate quite a bit from that name. If that's a reference to something in particular, it doesn't occur to me right off the bat. But this is Frosted Glass, so I'm going to assume it's something dirty. I mean, I think it's an educated guess.
We can flip our narratives too.
How?
Naming and claiming your vampire makes you the hero, not the victim of your story.
Naming and claiming my vampire. Okay, so if I have a parasitic person in my life whose name is Joe. Joe, you're mine!
What?
And what does that do? Or I don't know. I'm at the DMV. My life is being sucked away waiting at the DMV, and I just stand up and go, DMV, you're mine! Is that how that works?
Or like that person is an abusive partner, but he is my abusive partner.
Right, I'm not the victim anymore. He's the abuser. Is that what you mean? You're recognizing the truth of their, function in your life.
But that doesn't mean that you're going to do this alone.
Oh.
Step 3 is build your team.
Build my team?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Something I've noticed about vampire stories, they tend to be long and complex and
Like this.
Yeah.
We're halfway.
Yeah, we're over halfway through this thing. And we're only on step 3 of 6 steps.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I guess that's technically the right place to be, but still, I don't even know what we're talking about yet. Okay. Believe that vampires exist, stake your claim, as in identify the problem.
Uh-huh.
I guess. And now build your team. We're getting the band back together.
have large casts of characters.
Not always. I've seen vampire movies with 3 main characters, but okay.
And I think one reason for that is that it takes a team to defeat a vampire.
Well, I mean, in Interview with a Vampire, it only took 2 vampires to defeat Lestat. But it did take a whole theater of vampires to defeat Louis. What was... I suddenly forget the little girl vampire's name. And the woman that... Claudia, yes. And the woman that she embraced. I forget. I don't know what her name was. But, okay.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer has her Scooby Gang.
In the TV show, yeah. In the movie, it was pretty much her and the Rutger Hauer character, wasn't it?
Right? Friends and classmates who give her all kinds of support. Van Helsing has the Crew of Light, which is scholar Christopher Kraft's wonderfully evocative term for Mina Harker, Jonathan Harker, Dr. Seward, and all the others who are opposing the forces of darkness.
The darkness. So Christopher Kraft named this group, even though Bram Stoker never did? Sure. I could call them the Get Along Gang. Do I get quoted in your talk too?
I think Stoker's novel is a really great example of how effective a good team can be.
You don't say.
Because
we
after
get
all-
it. You love it. You love that book. We get it.
She's a big vampire. I mean, I can appreciate another vampire fan, sure. I just wish that she would make a more cohesive and clear talk about what she's talking about.
Dracula's got to be one of the most powerful vampires I know of. He can change shape. He can travel in moonlight. He can control weather. And yet, the people who defeat him are just ordinary mortals.
Did you tell us earlier that people can't defeat vampires because they're more powerful than everybody else?
But with a team.
Oh, with a team. Oh, sorry, with a team. Yes. Yes. The A team. If you can find them.
Yeah.
Maybe you can hire the A team.
They're not slayers. They're not werewolves. They're not witches. They're not vengeance demons.
But they could be.
They're ordinary human beings.
Not always. Sometimes there's vampires amongst the team, or Damfiers, or werewolves, or magical witches, or, you know, urban sorcerers or something. But sure, whatever. And your point being what?
Who band together and bring to this cause their experience, their skill and knowledge, their professional expertise.
Okay, so if I'm diagnosed with a disease, I have to build my team, i.e. my doctors. And maybe my family members to help me out. If I have an abusive partner of some kind, I have to build my team, as in divorce lawyer and support system and shelter organizer, or, you know, dark web hitman or something. Whatever works. Whatever's necessary. You got 5 minutes left, lady.
And their love for one another. Your team may be people who've identified the same vampire you have. You share a common enemy.
Okay. Could you please just give us one real-life example? Something? She should be carrying over one example throughout all these steps.
No.
Like she does her little talking about vampires, the analogy, and so on. And let's carry that over to our hypothetical couple, Jim and Jane. And Jim is a... Well, what?
You know, like, vampires are everywhere. She just told you that. So if she just gives you one example, like, it's just casing it, you know? Could be anything. Everyone. So...
Anything?
Yes. Anything.
Everyone?
Yes. That too.
Okay.
Or it may be that your team are the people who support you as you fight your own vampire. These are the people you can count on to replenish whatever your vampire is taking away from you.
Blood?
Yeah, support system. Support system. Yes.
Yeah.
We get it.
And this is especially important if your vampire is internal. A fear of failure, fear of success.
Fear
Oh
of
my
TEDx
God!
talks.
Even could be you!
Oh my God! Am I my own vampire?
Yes! We are doomed.
I'm my own vampire. I don't know what to say to that.
Wowie wow wow.
Ah!
Tendency to procrastinate. These are all pretty much the same thing, actually. Right?
If you say so.
So, once you've got your team, then you want to take step 4, do your homework.
Educate myself? Is that where we're going to be going to? Kiro Soldier, Scribe, do you think she'll touch the Hellsing anime? I would be surprised if she has any idea what Hellsing is. I'd be surprised if she watches anime, honestly. I know Leonora's never even heard of Hellsing.
You are correct.
Yeah, I watched Hellsing in college. Well, I was made to watch, in particular, Evangelion Neon Genesis Evangelion, which and then Trigun, which I really like Trigun, and Hellsing. I liked the original Hellsing. I know they've done some like updated stuff in relatively recent years that I never watched, but yeah, watch Hellsing, watch Trigun. Really like Trigun. The original Trigun. Whatever they've done in updating it or new movies and stuff, haven't bothered watching. But no, she's not going to bring up Hellsing. I would be surprised if she brings up 30 Days of Night or Vampire the Masquerade. Although that'd be, and even though the thumbnail has a joke of that on there, that'd be a good analogy to start working through something like this. If you wanted to use a bit of lore in there, but anyway. Thank you, the Dead Man. I beat you to it, but my team is Hannibal, Face, Murdoch, and BA. Yes. Dun, 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 You know, I even like some elements of the A-Team movie with Liam Neeson. Even though it's a little over the top here and there, I guess that's kind of the nature of the beast. But yeah, you can't do much better than the original series. I really liked the last season where they finally got caught and they became mercenaries for the government or the secret government agency, Robert Vaughn running them and everything. And the revision to the theme song for that last season where it got that electronic guitar thing going. I'm a nerd. I'm a super nerd. I'm a vampire nerd. Thank you, the dead man. Appreciate it.
It is not an accident that Van Helsing is a professor and Buffy's crew spends so much time in a library. It is important that you study not only your vampire, but also the strengths and resources of your team. Do not be too quick to dismiss those.
Again, I know, an example, something.
Even something that you're thinking of as a weakness can actually be a strength.
Like, okay, when you say something like that, you have to give us you're going to give us an example from the books, aren't you?
For example, Dracula bites Mina Harker.
Dracula bites Nina Harker and what?
Dracula bites Mina Harker and then forces her to drink from him, creating this psychic bond between them that he's going to use to try to control her.
Yes.
And in fact, she learns that he is using her to spy on the rest of the group.
Yes.
But she realizes this bond can actually be a two-way street. And
oh my God, you mean almost like if you discover that your enemy has tapped your phone and they don't know that they've tapped your phone, and so you start feeding them misinformation over the tapped line in order to entrap them?
Yes.
Like that?
Yes.
Like any other of a zillion other examples you could come up with? Or even heaven forfend, come up with a real life grounded example that you could then relate this to, maybe?
so she's able to use that to spy on him. She was thinking about this forced intimacy with her vampire as something that tainted her. She thinks she is unclean. This is a violation.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Vampires and what they do, for all intents and purposes, are symbolically a word that YouTube would not like me saying, but just saying, doing something to someone that they don't want to have happen. So, we know. Lady, we get it. You got 2 or 3 more steps left?
But she learns to see this as data, as very valuable data.
Well, you could also say it's very valuable lore. If you know, you know. Let's see. Over here. No, I already got that one already. Sorry, dead man. Pardon me. There we go. Poker Pierce, thank you so much. Thank you both for the great night of bingo. I hope you don't get eaten by the vampire TEDxer. Are you referring to me? Or Professor Wingnut over here? Well, thank you, Poker Pierce. Very much appreciated. Let's see. I also like some elements of the movie. There were early episodes with the reporter and a guy who helped them out who was a stunt guy. The A-Team? Yeah. There was a little bit of a rotating cast on the team because there was that was that one guy, he was he was Latino, and I think was it like a special effects guy or something? And then they had occasionally a different lady friend who would come in and help them with the sort of the seductress type stuff. I don't know that they ever had a very consistent member of the team. I know there's one lady that showed up in more than a few episodes. I admit I am not an A-Team encyclopedia walking, except for, some elements. Like Howling Mad Murdoch was one of the best characters ever written. And George Peppard was very upset that Mr. T became the breakout star of that series because he thought that he was, top of the pops. Anyway.
You have intimate knowledge of your vampire, whatever it is that's draining you.
Maybe.
You are an expert on this vampire. What are his vulnerabilities? Nobody knows your vampire better than you do. What are his weak points?
I don't... Well, I mean, if the vampire is me, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You've
You
already
beat me
told
to
us...
it.
Yeah. If the vampire is... Okay, because we're going on a whole... This kind of thing requires like 2 different talks. And maybe she does this. Maybe she does this in her class. Like the outer vampires versus the inner vampires.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how do you defang vampires from without? How do you defang vampires from within? It'd be nice if she gave us some guidance on here and not just turned it into a book club.
How might you use those? And while we're thinking about weak points,
Uh-huh.
step 5, cue the sun.
Guess
See?
who got a hat trick in the psychic stinger department? Leonora.
I'm so good at this.
Yeah, with the clutch here. Cue the sun. Now, here's a trivia question. In popular culture speaking, where does cue the sun come from? What movie is that most famous from coming from?
You're asking chat, correct? Not me. Because
I-
obviously I don't.
I had a thin hope you might know, but I'll ask the chat then. Chat, if I say cue the sun, what film immediately comes to mind? And yes, this would require you to be a little bit of an old at this point, I guess, technically speaking. Or you just have to be me because I'm thinking of one particular movie. So let's see if somebody gets it in the next few seconds. Or anybody that's Googling it right now. Like, look at the Cue the Sun movie quote. Read by Nature. Truman Show. Yes. When, I think it's Ed Harris leans forward. After Truman has discovered the truth, and then Ed Harris, the proverbial god of the story, leans forward and tells the control board to cue the sun. Yes. Advocat says, Cue the Sun was a Mars Volta song. Oh, okay. I used to have their one breakout album. Somebody burned it for me on a CD long ago. Anyway.
Whether it causes vampires to burst into flame or just sparkle, like in Twilight,
Ugh.
the sunlight is your best weapon for revealing the vampire's true nature.
Okay, so what does cue the sun mean in a real-world context? Because you already did stake your claim. Name your vampire. Expose your vampire. Acknowledge that your vampire exists. So how is cue the sun different from naming and claiming your vampire?
Maybe you're in a position to rip the curtains down, drag your vampire out into the sunlight, expose him to the world.
Maybe. Unless it's me.
Maybe you want to be a little more strategic about this. Maybe you just want to hit your vampire with these narrow beams of light using surgical precision, talking to only a few people. Maybe.
What? Okay, I'm circling word salad. I'm circling word salad. I'm circling leaves out vital context because this far into the talk, I don't have any hope she's going to give us anything we can sink our teeth into. And also weightless example non sequitur with that whole Sookie Stackhouse flipping the script. Because you're talking about euphemistic vampires, not quote-unquote actual vampires, and then you somehow say that her becoming the vampiric character is a good thing. Yeah.
Be a doctor or your therapist or the members of your team.
Uh-huh.
However you approach this, understand that your vampire is strongest in the shadows, where he feels safe and you feel cold and frightened and alone. Do not stay there with him and do not allow him to stay there. Get yourself into the sunlight, shine the light on the vampire.
What is that?
So you need to, like, run to the street and just yell, like, I'm a procrastinator.
That's right.
Or what? Or what?
Confess thy sins. Declare your weaknesses.
Uh-huh.
Rage against the dying of the light. I am a sinner, and I have sinned before you, my vampire. I don't know what she's talking about.
They don't either.
I mean, you see, here's the thing. I could, for the sake of things, just fill in the blanks with my own imagination as to what she actually means or what I think she could be saying, which is what I've been doing for most of this. But that just kind of underscores the fact that she's not saying anything. Because I'm having to do all the work. And of course, admittedly, she is a college professor. That's kind of... You know, she's a vampire.
Yes.
She gets paid for this.
Yeah, she's sucking our time.
Yeah. If only that weren't the only thing she was sucking.
Oh, God.
And watch him shrivel.
Uh-huh.
And finally, step 6, keep the faith.
I believe it'll work eventually. I just have to keep believing. That bus is going to get here eventually. I just have to keep waiting.
As Father Callahan in Salem's Lot, Stephen King's reimagining of Dracula, discovers, your best weapons are useless if you don't believe in them.
Uh-huh. This really is just Vampire Book Club, the talk.
Father Callahan thinks that he's prepared for his showdown with the evil vampire, and he has his crucifix in hand, but he is riddled with self-doubt. He's not entirely certain this can work.
Yes.
So it doesn't.
Yes.
On the other hand, 12-year-old Mark Petrie, who has grown up reading vampire comic books and watching monster movies and has a whole set of monster models in his room.
He's got true faith. He bought the merit of character creation.
Has no doubt whatsoever.
Uh-oh. Oh, I thought you were so quiet. I thought I lost you or something for another.
No, it's just like have faith in what, that you will, succeed, that you will.
I maintain your self-confidence through this ordeal, I guess. Believe that you will succeed.
Okay,
guess.
so I wouldn't stick to the heart.
What?
Like I wouldn't stick to a heart to a vampire. It won't work if I don't believe in it. How can? No.
That's an interesting point. If you drove a stake into the heart of a vampire, but you had doubt about whether or not this would actually have an effect. Because crosses, like a profession of faith, like holding up a cross, or garlic or whatever else. In Lost Boys, because they invited the vampire into the house, all other powers against him faded. Mm-hmm. So as soon as he's, been invited into the home, nothing works against him. He's effectively invulnerable. If that's the lore of that particular version of vampire. Although I think if you put a stake through the heart of anything, it would probably kill him.
Yeah.
Vampire or not. But again, she hasn't told us what the hell a stake through the heart in a euphemistic sense is supposed to mean for a disease or a system. She gave us a list of these things. She should have given us even the most abstract example for each category, what defanging that vampire might look like. And she hasn't. So
when he is confronted with a vampire, he picks up a tombstone from one of his little graveyard model sets because it has a cross on it, and he swings it around and puts it right in his vampire's face.
Yes.
This is only a cheap plastic toy. He does not have the power of the Catholic Church behind him, but he has
well, I'm not going to say anything.
Has complete faith that it will work, and it does. Like to remind you that we began by saying you have to believe in the vampire's power.
Oh, I remember the steps. There wasn't a whole lot else to talk about.
But we succeed by believing in our own.
Believing in our own vampires?
We have to keep the faith. Remember that vampires will fight dirty. They will get inside your head. They will make you doubt yourself. To defang your vampire, you have got to keep the faith.
I thought each of the steps was supposed to defang the vampire.
No,
In
she
your
said in the
weapon-
beginning that you can maybe just use 1 or 2. But apparently you definitely need the 1st and the 6th.
I guess so.
In your team, in your cause, and most importantly, in yourself.
Believe in
Yes.
yourself, guys. Believe in yourself.
Yes.
This is what students are paying $20,000 a semester.
Yeah,
learn.
and you're asking why the parents are outraged.
They are right to question the usefulness of this ladies' class.
Now you notice I keep using this word defang.
You do. Do I get a cookie?
Not conquer.
Not conquer.
Because you will
can't-
never.
Exactly. They're immortal. You can never get rid of them.
Not slay.
Yeah. Because that never happens in the book. Wait.
Because the truth is, you may not be able to defeat your vampire in a single dramatic showdown.
Yeah, especially if it's AIDS. AIDS!
Every day may bring a different battle, and you may never achieve final and complete victory. We have to accept this.
Then I've lost all hope. Why bother? Oh, wait. Keep the faith.
Yeah. Someday.
And keeping the
not
faith. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Keeping the faith. Toot, 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 toot. Billy Joel. You've heard that song, right?
Yes.
Thank God.
But what you can do
Yes.
is get the vampire's teeth out of your neck.
But what if it's AIDS?
You can recognize that you have been hypnotized into accepting the vampire's dominance and snap out of it. You can call on your team to stop that steady drain of time and energy. You can refuse to be a victim. You can make yourself and your team the heroes of your story, and you can take your power back, even if it is one drop at a time.
I can.
Yes, kids. Believe in yourselves.
Yes. This is like the worst ABC after school special. Believe in yourself, kids. If you have a bully in your life, you stand up to that bully. Take away its power. Take your power back. Unless it's AIDS!
Every drop you keep makes you that much stronger and leaves your vampire that much weaker. So once more, with feeling.
Oh no.
6 steps.
God. That could be
6 steps.
3.
Yeah. Well, hell, we only need the 2.
To defanging your vampire. Number 1,
Number 1, pliers. No, seriously, you want to defang your pliers.
believe. Vampires are real, and you've already met yours.
I'm going to go outside right now and tell the first person I come across, vampires are real!
Yes.
Dressed like this. I wonder what's going to happen to me.
Step 2,
And all the cops on you.
What? No! I'm telling the truth!
stake your claim.
Stake my claim.
Step 3, build your team.
I was waiting to see if the first letters spelt out something. They don't. Although the first 2 letters spell BS, which is pretty true.
Step 4, do your homework.
Uh-huh.
Step 5, cue the sun. And step 6, keep the faith.
And I still don't have much of any idea what any. I mean, like I say, I could do and I have done all the legwork in my mind to sort of extrapolate what those things could mean in a real world context, whereas she hasn't. So, I don't know.
Repeat as needed. Thank you.
You're very happy
No,
with yourself.
thank you.
She is very happy with herself. I bet her husband told her it was a very good presentation when she showed her the draft.
Yeah.
Who's the vampire in that relationship, do you think?
She is.
What? Is she the Sookie? Sookie. All right, guys. Well, there was 6 steps to defanging your vampire. Whoa!
A TEDx that should have never existed.
But I will give it this. I will give it this. Even though it's 7 years old, it was effectively timeless. I mean, she never made any sort of like pop culture references that were, that dated the thing.
Okay.
She didn't say like, 2018. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think.
But who cares if it's timeless, if it's worthless?
How many TEDx's have you watched?
Oh, plenty. But
okay.
I mean, this wasn't even funny. There's some that are, like funny.
Ironically funny even, but no, yeah, this one is.
Yes.
All right, well, let's go to the bingo card, guys. Get your bingo card B's ready. This is what the bingo card looks like right now. I know that some of the squares are covered up at the bottom by our pile of skulls, but I think you can make it out. Leonora and I are going to go over the bingo card one more time by ourselves. If you have arguments for squares to be circled, hold on to them. We'll get to you momentarily. Marginalized, marginalization.
Well, the thing is that everything here could be checked because everything here are vampires. In her mind, everything here is a vampire.
Yes, well, we could use our imaginations to circle every square. However, we have to.
She was like so unspecific. And she said that it was things that, take away your power and just limit yourself. And they're bad for you.
I know, but let's
everything here.
There's no talk has an automatic blackout. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
We have to go square by square. There's a process to this. There are steps involved. We learned about steps and the usefulness of steps in this talk. So let's go step by step. Marginalized marginalization. Could you make an argument that she used that concept, because she didn't use those words, in this talk? In what
Step
she
one,
said?
believe.
Why does that equate to marginalized marginalization?
Because I believe that was on the TED Talk, and it should be marked.
That's not how this works, Leonora. I'm sorry. I know you've only done one of these before with me, but that's not how this works.
Everything is a vampire.
If you're going to be unhelpful, I will move on without you. Yeah.
You're the vampire in my life. Yes.
What gave it away? Okay, so marginalized marginalization. Did she, even in the aggregate, use that concept in this? And she
I'm
did.
not answering.
Okay, well, I will tell you then, in this power dynamic, that she did. And how did she do so? Because she talked about people who had been diminished by the vampire, broken down, taken advantage of, and so on and so forth. So the vampires.
Just said that.
I'm being more specific than just circle everything on the card because anything can be a vampire. I have to explain myself.
Everything is a vampire. Everything is a vampire. Everything.
Okay. I've circled the thing. Let's move on to the next one.
Great.
Self-vilification or wretchedness.
Yes.
Okay. I know when she did. When did she?
With the internal vampires.
Okay. There you go. Yes, when she said the vampires could be inside of you. They could be your self-doubt, this, that, and the other. Yeah. And I'm only circling this because I say self-vilification. There is no way that she was not referring to herself in the course of this. This was a self-declaration in so many different ways, you could tell. Contradicts own point or fails to make argument. I think that's an easy one, because
Yes.
there was no point. And she contradicted herself because she said, "Oh, humans can't stand up to vampires. Oh, vampires fell to groups of just normal humans." So by two different directions, you could get that one. Okay, now this is a tough one. Feminism. She never really focused on gender in any particular way. Even though I see an argument that might be coming, I'm not willing to necessarily say that just because she highlighted Mina Harker turning around Dracula's power or Sookie Stackhouse flipping the script, because women defeating the beast in some way, shape, or form has been a trope throughout stories, throughout history. And not necessarily an element of feminism, but as women representing the more pure, the more virginal, versus the dirty beast that is attacking things.
Joan Carey has women in it. Circle that.
I need a better argument than there was a lady present. Where in this did she spout anything that sounded like feminist ideology or feminist theory?
Everywhere.
You know, you're starting to sound like her.
Chat, help me.
Okay, we'll save that one for chat. Microaggressions or unconscious bias. And I know she didn't use the terms, but did she use the concepts in the course of things? I'm not sure. There might be an argument for unconscious bias and self-doubt. Privilege, yes. She talked about power dynamics. She talked about systems, etc. and so forth. People in your life lording it over you.
Everything's a vampire.
Yes. Plays victim. Okay, now, I think I've already given this one away because I said, and I don't think I'm too off the mark, that even though she might not have said so, she was quoting her own personal life experience when she's talking about some of these elements. And this was, in a way, in both, I'm sure her classes too, kind of self-therapy session. So I think I'm safe there. Collectivizes own demographic. She never said, as a woman or something. So I'm not, and I'm not going to go for, oh, well, she's a human and humans encounter vampires all the time. No. Economic disparity. I know in the early part of the talk she listed off different things like people in your life, systems, diseases and things, but I don't think she got so specific as to talk about economy.
No.
She didn't talk about poverty or... I don't think so. Deceptive statistics. She never gave us any statistics. That's a tough one. Attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase. Okay, and when I say new...
Cue the sun.
What?
Cue the sun.
Cue the sun. No, she took that from a movie. So I can't cover it. I don't want to give her credit for something she didn't come up with, but she did repeat. She repeated a list of things that doesn't count as a buzz phrase. Stake your claim. She did repeat that a couple of times at the beginning.
Yes.
There's there's the vampires. There's too much at stake or whatever.
Defang the vampire.
Defang your vampires. Yeah. Okay. I'll give that one at least.
Finally.
What do you mean finally? Look at all the circles on here. What are you talking about? Mind reading assumes motives.
No.
She didn't get specific enough, I don't think. Patriarchy, again, she never really talked about gender dynamics. She used examples from books, but they were just in their own element. She didn't really talk about them in terms of gender power dynamics or anything, just vampire versus somebody else. So
Everything is a vampire.
I know. I know, Leonora. Thank you. Anecdote that probably never happened. She never gave us any anecdotes. Except for the, my husband and I were sitting at dinner and the phone rang. It's obviously a vampire. I guess the question is, do you really think...
That's an anecdote.
Well, it is an anecdote, but is it an anecdote that you think never happened? Do you think that her husband...
Yeah,
never
her husband saying that, oh, don't let the vampires in, or I don't remember.
Yeah, don't answer it. It's just vampires.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess the question...
I don't think that he uses that in real life.
I mean, but this is her husband, and she seems to be exceedingly focused on vampires. So do you think it's completely
I don't
impossible?
even think that she has a husband.
Just for the sake of comedy, I'm going to
Just
circle
that.
Yeah. Okay. And with that, guys, if you can believe it.
Bingo.
What? Of course!
We have our first bingo.
Yay.
Might not be our last. Let's go. DEI philosophy. I didn't hear anything. And this was 2018, so it hadn't quite become the soup du jour yet that it is in the years following. So, yeah. White supremacy. She never brought up race, strangely enough. And childhood, hey, talking about having dinner with your husband, that's a family anecdote. Even if it's an imaginary husband.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that sense, I think we're...
I had a dog, and his name was...
What?
I had a dog, and his name was...
Bingo!
Of course!
Our second bingo. All right, guys, that is the card as we have it. If you have arguments for squares to be circled, put them in the chat now. If I've missed your argument, please just repost it. If you say scroll up, I'm not going to. But I always scroll up a little bit. Sora Luna, maybe the part where Dracula forbade the brides to feed from Harker. That shows the patriarchal abuse of women and their sexuality. Oh. So we're doing some literature analysis here. I'm very familiar with this process. Okay, my only opposition to that is, did the presenter classify it as such? Not that it couldn't be extrapolated into that by the viewer, but was that the point the presenter was using that example as? In this case, it didn't feel like it, because both she had Dracula staking his claim, so to speak, of Harker, and likewise she had Sookie staking her claim of Bill. And she didn't make an example or underline some kind of gender dynamic there, just the power dynamic. That'd be my only opposition there. If you have a rejoinder, by all means. But, what was that?
A boo.
A boo?
Yes. A boo for you.
You need to watch it, or else I'll bring down the lightning. You watch it. I'm a weather controlling vampire.
Not the lightning. No.
Not the lightning. Oh no. Let's see. Okay, that was Sora Luna. Advocates Diablo Scribble. Anecdote that never happened. We already circled, but people pay for her class. No, they take out student loans that they never actually pay off nowadays, so they really aren't paying for her class. Clever. Very clever. Very clever. Always referring to the vampire as he, patriarchy. And Evil One also seconds that. She kept referring to the vampire as him.
Yes.
Except for the female vampires. She brought up the female vampires. It wasn't always a him. Sorry. I don't know. Shadowcat, feminism, patriarchy. Somehow, the heroines flipping the power dynamics on their vampires is empowering and not a double standard of power imbalance between predators, men, and prey women.
Yes.
I mean, but that's 2 squares for one thing.
Yes.
But that's not that simple.
They're no fun.
It shouldn't be that
It's
simple. I'm no fun.
Halloween.
What do you mean I'm dressed up as a dollar store vampire, and I've got a dog cat fox, a sticky tonguey outy dog cat fox. I'm no fun? Jeez, I don't know how much more fun I could be. What do you have to say? Wowie wow wow. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Jeez, what more do you people want? Good gravy. Okay, I'll consider it, but I want to hear some other arguments first. Let's see. Advocatus. A trope in feminism is flipping the script, and she talked a lot about that. So in an abstract way, she was speaking of feminism. Plus, all the vampires she listed were male. Except for the female ones. Except for the female ones. Osan, mind reading. Dracula reading Mina's mind to spy on the... Oh, Osan. Oh, you're literally correct. You are literally correct. And she was using a literary example, so that's kind of rare. All right, fair enough. It was actually an element of the presentation. All right, there you go. Good job. Let's see. No, in this case, she did not. I'm missing context. She did not what? She did not what? Unconscious bias. Hers in stating that all vampires are bad. Some are good, like the Count and Count Chocula. I mean...
That is true.
But they're not really vampires, are they? They don't drink blood.
But they are.
Count Chocula commits victimless crimes.
But he is.
But he loves chocolate. He's Count Chocula. He's not Count Bloodula.
But he is a vampire.
And the Count just loves to count. I think he feeds off of numbers.
But
What
he
do you
has
think about
little things.
I know he has little things. Wait, are you going to, like, judge him because of his physical deformity, you jerk?
No, I'm just saying that he is a vampire, but he's a nice one.
Saying vampires are Australian? You know, if there was any place on the earth that actually had real vampires, given everything else around there that's deadly to people, probably. Probably. Is there a good Australian vampire movie? I mean,
You're not asking me, right?
No, I wouldn't ask you anything about movies. I was sort of thinking out loud. Let's see. In The Sinning Fish, feminism. When referring to vampires, abuse, etc., she almost exclusively, oh, there's the caveat, referred to them as male. Okay, I'm leaning into it. But the female vamps were under Dracula's power. Okay, all right. I'll tell you what. I'll give you patriarchy. Feminism is going to be a more uphill battle. And just because Suki flipped the script, that's not enough. I need something else. Or I need a better argument in using that example. So there you go. She's a woman fighting vampires and makes her a feminist.
Yes.
But she brought up the Lords of Light or whatever fighting Dracula, and save for Mina Harker, who was really just bait at that point, all the team were men. And Buffy did not do her fighting alone. She needed her team, which was made up mostly of other guys. All right? I'm just playing Dracula's advocate here a little bit.
Circle the thing.
Shush you. Economic disparity. In the Dracula movie, Dracula uses wealth to search for his victim and allure people into... Again, it has to be something she brought up in the talk, not just something from something she brought up in the talk. She mentioned Buffy was a feminist icon. Did she classify Buffy as a feminist icon? No. But Buffy was the Slayer. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
And Van Helsing was the Slayer. And Jonathan Harkness was the Slayer. I gave you patriarchy for the constant male power dynamic thing versus the female. I'll give you that. But feminism, I need something else. I just need something else.
No fun.
I'm plenty fun. I'm full of fun. I've drank almost an entire can of Monster. I'm full of fun right now. I'm full of carnitine or L-carnitine and B vitamins. Man, the B vitamins are really hitting me. Raccoonius the Great. What's the matter? You shush yourself.
Thank you.
Hey, what is it? Hey, stop with that. I know Italian, obviously. Guys can be feminists too.
Yeah.
Oh. So are you saying that Van Helsing and Jonathan Harkness and so on were male feminists fighting against toxic masculinity?
Obviously.
Okay. All right. I know when I'm licked.
Circle the thing.
Spit on that thing! All right, fine. Feminism.
Hey.
It's not even a bingo square, but everybody was so... I need people to work for it. You gotta work. I'm working hard for the money. Okay, guys. Any other arguments for squares to be circled? Last call. I cooked the pizza. Hey, that's a spicy meatball. See, I speak Italian. Forget about it. Right? I watch The Sopranos. Do you ever... Again, I know this is a dumb question. Do you ever watch The Sopranos?
You know the answer.
Gabagool. Gabagool. All about the gabagool. Let's see. Shadowcat. The entire subject of the talk is feminism, LOL. It's about taking control of power imbalances. But taking control of power imbalance is not necessarily about feminism. You could be talking about the decline and fall of the Roman Empire or something. That's power balances. Not necessarily about feminism, so...
That's why I'm saying everything is a vampire here. The white supremacy, the DEI philosophy, the economic disparity, everything here is a vampire.
Yeah, but not a vampire that she mentioned in her talk.
But she did, because she said that everything and everyone that is taking away your power.
That's not speaking Italian, said Stoka. What's really speaking Italian, Leonora?
Speaking Italian.
Care to give us an example?
Not really.
Fine. Won't show off your talents for polyglotness then. All right.
You're not circling the thing.
You're right, I'm not circling the thing because that's not an argument. She was so unspecific that the whole card needs to be... No, that's not how it works. There are rules. You have to follow the rules.
I am following the rules.
No, my rules, not her rules.
She talked about the oppressive system that is all around us.
Yes, and I circled systemic or institutional.
Everything here. Everything here.
That's not how it works. I need an example from the talk, not an extrapolation of imagination.
It was not an extrapolation. She said it. Everything that takes away your power and your energy and your resources and your everything. She said it.
You know the definition of insanity?
I'm gonna shut up now.
And there you have an example of the power dynamic of vampires versus their victims, everybody. All right. Let's see. Get Italian lessons from Sinatra. Hey, does Sinatra actually speak Italian? Or Italian, you know, that kind of thing? I mean, obviously he's a Sinatra, so he must know something. Circle the whole board. You know, strangely enough, yes. I never felt the impulse to do the WTF button. It was all word salad, but I just kept waiting for an example. That was about as frustrating as it got. She never said anything that was completely, or I mean, admittedly, my tolerance is pretty high at this point, but nothing that really set me off in that way. Like you said, it was a very boring talk. Nothing really happened. She did say everything is a vampire several times. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean we circle all the squares.
Why not if it's everything?
That's not how it works. There's a way things work. There are rules. Otherwise, it cheapens the entire experience. You got two bingos.
All of our happiness away. We're going to defang you, mister.
No! I call upon my guardian, my hellhound. See my hellhound?
Yeah.
He will protect me from the vampire hunters.
Yeah, terrifying.
Won't you, dog, cat, fox? Wowie, wow, wow. Yes. All right, everybody. Well, that, as they say, is the show. Leonora, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Like what?
I
don't exist in the internet, so no.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Leonora is just a social construct, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't actually exist. She's even more anonymous than I am now, technically. But anyway, as for myself, I should be doing a Saturday stream, if you can believe it, on Saturday for Dog, Cat, Fox, and Friend, where finally Dog, Cat, Fox will be joining me.
Finally.
I have to find a way to, like, yes, flesh. I'll have to find a way to, like, strap him to my shoulder or something, or get like Velcro, so he's always there when we're talking. We can talk about stories and stuff while Dog, Cat, Fox is there, and he's derping at me. And okay, stop it. So that'll be Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And then Monday, barring something else happening, at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time, 3:30 Eastern time will be the next episode of DEI Death Watch. And boy, oh boy, I already got a list of articles. And I have to thank the Bridge program for that, because they send out a newsletter every day or every other day or so. And they were lamenting all these things going on in the world and giving me links to news articles saying, oh, look at this terrible thing that's happening in DEI. And I'm like, yes. So I've got a whole list of interesting new developments in the world of DEI to look at. And outside of that, yeah, be sure to take a look at Andy.
You must be so happy.
Oh, I am just gleeful. Be sure to take a look at Andy, the Toy Master Masterson's YouTube channel. Oh, by the way, Leonora, did you know that I have a friend who has a product to sell?
No, tell me all about it.
Well, let me gush. This is my friend Satsu, aka Chef Tyrone, founder, owner, and CEO of Oishi Fried Chicken LLC, featuring a new line of signature spice mixes. Chef Tyrone's homemade blends are the perfect gateway to delicious fried chicken or any other protein you might prefer. These recipes were painstakingly tested in Tyrone's home kitchen to bring you all the fantastic flavors you and your family can enjoy. The current flavor lineup includes original, spicy, lemon garlic herb, barbecue rub, and taco seasoning. You can buy individual packs of your favorite flavors or save some money with a variety bundle, all through the online store. And Oishi Fried Chicken ships nationwide. Go to www.oishifc.com and order today. Also, everyone, I have a Discord server. Did you know I have a Discord server? Would you like to join the Discord server? Link to the Discord server is in the chat right now. All you have to do is click on that link, and you'll find yourself on the landing channel called Say Hello. And in addition to saying hello, you just have to say the secret word. The secret word will tell me that you're not a bot. Actually watch the stream, and have thus earned the right, the privilege, the entitlement to join the Discord server. And today's secret word is... What's today's secret word, Leonora?
Thanks.
Fangs! Say hello, Fangs, and we'll know that you watched the show. Outside of that, I have a merchandise link. If you'd like a Pepperjack shirt or a Moonbase shirt or a Scribelite TEDXcellence coffee cup, I have my own coffee cup of it. I should have brought it on here. I'll bring it on for the Saturday show. I'll drink my drink out of my Scribelite cup with my dogcat fox on my shoulder.
Yes.
Like a pirate's parrot. I got to find a way to balance him on here so he stays on there. I'll figure something out. Beyond that, also, if you like my stuff or you like the stuff of any other content creator out there that you enjoy, please do share it out, retweet it, put it on to AOL Instant Messenger, LimeWire, ICQ. What else are the kids using these days? Friendster, Facebook, Napster. Or make a whole GeoCities page or AngelFire page. You can do those for free, or Ask Jeeves.
Like also, and subscribe.
Oh yes, also like and subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to subscribe. And if you think you're subscribed, check that you are subscribed, because sometimes, as you know, YouTube does make mistakes. So double check that. And yes, so everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though everyone here is so well behaved, you have very, very little to do. Everybody who donated, holy cow, everybody, either to myself or please take a look at the link at the top of the chat box to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Really appreciate your generosity. Thank you ahead of time for that. And yeah, everyone, have a good rest of your Thursday. Have a safe and fun and non-real vampire-free, unless you're into that kind of thing, Halloween tomorrow. So happy Halloween, everybody.
Eat lots of candy.
Yes, eat lots of candy. Make diabetes your own personal vampire tomorrow.
Yay!
Yay! AIDS! And with that, everyone, yeah, I hope you are all safe and well. If you're not well, please get well soon. And we will see you on the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.